Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Good morning to you. It is Coffee Ann time on ON Radio, Thursday morning, October 26th, and we thank you for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan, and across the table from me, Attorney Bob Lauder. Good morning to you, Bob.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
Good to have you with us today. Bob's in a suit, which must mean you have court today.
I have court today.
All right.
What is the logo on your shirt?
That makes
the stallion.
The big. That's how you make the big bucks, right?
Yeah, right.
This is my. This is a Bronco.
A Bronco.
Boise State University Broncos.
Whoa, looks nice.
Nice
color combination.
Blue and orange is
nice,
the colors, school colors out
nice
there.
Nice looking logo. Wow.
Yes, we were a horse.
What do they excel in? What's a particular sport?
They are a Division I school, so they're pretty good in football and in basketball, men's football, men's basketball. Mm-hmm.
Great.
Went to the games out there, had a great time.
You didn't play in any of them?
You gotta be kidding.
Those guys are big. You were an athlete in high school. You did good stuff there.
Yeah, but I topped out at just below 6 feet, and everybody's like 6'5" and higher. So, no, I was a cheerer.
Yeah,
go team.
Yeah, but you don't have to be 6 feet tall to be on a football team.
Oh, it helps.
Oh, okay.
It sure does. This is what you should do, Bob. You got to go up to Foxborough. You got to go to the New England Patriots Hall of Fame.
Okay.
All right. Inside one of the exhibits, they have a replica huddle of the players.
All right.
And you can get in the huddle with the players, and it will show how small you actually are when you're in the actual huddle of these New England Patriots players and how big they really are. They all look the same size on TV. And you're like, okay, that's fine. But if you get in there, you're looking up at all of them.
Now, you think this huddle is an actual, real representation?
It is.
They didn't just increase it a little bit, make the guys a little bit bigger?
No. It is a full-size, it's an actual-size replica of these particular players. So you get that full immersive feeling of what it's like to be in the huddle. It's pretty cool. And you don't have to know anything about football. Just you'll see the guys that get together.
If I don't have to know anything about football, I'm in.
We did have a note that was called in earlier talking about sports, and it just says, think the East Coast is interested in the Texas-Arizona World Series? No. Diamondbacks have the lowest number of wins since the wild card format was adopted to be in the World Series. They finished only 6 wins over 500 for the regular season at 84 and 78, but they got hot at the right time, and they're in the World Series. So
wow.
I see Texas winning, though, in a sweep. 4-0. That's what's my.
When does the World Series start?
Tonight or tomorrow or soon.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be in, and Major League Baseball cannot be happy because it's Texas and Arizona and people in New York and Boston and Miami. They're like, nah, it's not a big marquee thing. There's no Dodgers, there's no Yankees, there's no Red Sox, there's no Chicago. So it's just,
yeah, but these teams may be the ones that are going to come along and overtake the Yankees, and they never overtake the Red Sox. I realize, but overtake the Yankees, yeah,
maybe, but not this year.
Not this
in popularity. Nope. All right, other things going on. Bad news up in Lewiston, Maine. Mass shooting.
I heard it on the radio this morning. Coming in,
over at least 20 people dead.
20?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
They have not caught the shooter yet. And it took place, and things you worry about because, you think about where have the last few shootings taken place? Well, they go to schools. And the last big one I saw was, nightclubs.
Right, the dance hall out in California.
There was one, right, and there was one in a movie theater. Okay, this one at a bowling alley.
Whoa!
And then he went someplace else. Like a pizza place. So, I mean, there's not so many things to go to in Lewiston, Maine. I've been there, and so I'm like, oh, this is just. And they talk about his. They're looking for this guy. He's a person of interest, what they always say.
Right.
His name is Robert Card, and if you run into him, they say you don't approach him. He's considered armed and dangerous. He's got mental health issues, and from talking with people that know him, he's hearing voices in his head to go shoot people, and this is why they think he went and did this.
Whoa.
So, but he hasn't been found yet.
Oh, jeez.
So, you gotta be aware of that. And we still have that situation up in Gardner, Massachusetts, which I know is about an hour away. It's north of Worcester, going up to the New Hampshire border. Where,
What's happening in Gardner?
well, a man allegedly shot his wife to death in their home, and he is still on the loose. They keep looking for him in the woods up there in the Gardner, Fitchburg, Auburnham area up that way, and they haven't found him. And now he is an ex-Air Force person,
Right.
and they think he had a lot of survivalist training as an Air Force person and knows very well how to live off the land. So he's a little tougher to capture. This might be the same thing this guy in Maine, too.
Okay, but Maine, if I recall correctly, Lewiston is fairly isolated, and there's a lot of woods around there and maybe hunting
Yes.
lodges and things like that one could
Yes.
have some type of shelter in. But Gardner is sort of urban area.
Well, they've been looking, and they say 400 square miles of the woods up that way.
Wow.
So, and they just they found his car, the one in Gardner.
Right.
They found his car deep in the woods. They said, down some trail, I guess. So he was obviously there to drop off his car before he set off on foot or on another vehicle. I don't know.
With the plethora of cell cams and security cameras and doorbell cameras, I'm surprised that you could walk across any area and not be seen by somebody on some type of recording.
Yeah, but no cameras in the woods though.
Right.
Doorbell cameras, yeah.
Right. But also,
And I think they have doorbell cameras, at his house, showing him leaving the house, getting in his car, and leaving. But that's all they got. And then they found the car.
I imagine he has discarded his cell phone, or they'd be able to trace him that way.
Probably, because they'll be able to ping it and find out
Right.
where he is. So, and I'm sure he knows that, or knows how to disable it somehow, if he needs it.
Wow. Okay.
So there's lots of things going, lots of bad things going on.
Yes.
Today, and right in our, not in our immediate area, but nearby. And we had and last night we had another accident on Route 146 North,
Where?
Sales Hill Road, same place where the woman got hit. Another pedestrian got hit. Closed down Route 146 North about 11 o'clock last night.
Well, that is a very dangerous area anyway. I remember other people getting hit there. I remember a clerk from the family court actually was killed in an auto crash at that point,
Yeah.
about 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. But, wow.
It's dangerous to cross that road in the daytime when the sun is out and bright and shining and everybody can see you.
Well, and they're doing the construction on it right now, too,
That's
which only makes
right
it even
there.
more exciting.
And they've taken away the crosswalks there because they're working on it. So it's even harder to see. And I brought this up yesterday as the driver, and you've driven through that area, haven't you?
Oh, yes.
Okay, there's Jersey barriers to worry about. There's barrels to worry about. There's construction vehicles to worry about. There's police officers to worry about. I mean, you're looking at the lights. You got to look at that to make sure you get that going if you're supposed to go or not. Now you got people walking in front of you
I was going to
that
ask
you don't see.
I was going to ask you if there's anything good happening, and Sue Tessia McKenzie walks in.
Well, there you
so
go.
Great.
So
We've
Sue's
got
here.
the
So
good
that's,
stuff.
Good morning.
so that's happiness, right?
Yeah.
Well, since you're here, Sue, this first segment of the Coffee and Program is sponsored by The Call. So, how are things at The Call?
Well, the good thing is, people have been saying that we've been closed for so long, talking about construction
yeah.
and so on. Well, it's finally going to really kick in. Due to the historical nature of the building, there were many requirements that we had to, not we, excuse me, I take that back, that the property owner had to comply with. Finally, approval has been granted, and they will begin actual construction. So now when people go, they'll see construction. So hopefully we'll be in there, hoping like within a month. But we're still going to have our offices there.
Yeah.
Again, as I keep telling people, if there's anything you need, by all means, reach out to me direct. You can call my cell at 487-4136. Circulation problems, you can call me, or you can call 767-8522. And of course, anything requiring classified or legal ads would be Christina, and that's 767-8503. Leave messages at any of these numbers. If you don't get a response, then you can call me. I will redirect.
All right.
487-4136.
Very good. And did we just start off the program talking about the shootings in Maine?
Oh my God!
Last night.
I was watching. It was 16. 10 minutes later, it said 20.
20. Yeah.
So it was a bowling alley and a restaurant.
Yeah, in a restaurant. Yeah. You can't go anywhere now and not feel safe.
You know, that's the unfortunate. I hate to even use the word reality, but it really is. I mean, you're out to dinner and
You're out having fun. And when you think of the state of Maine, and between Maine and gun control, those people up in Maine, everyone has one. Because most of them, I would say over 50% of the people hunt.
yes.
So in terms of people having guns, most everyone's got one.
And Lewiston's up there. You know,
Yeah,
I
that's pretty
I
far.
wanted to look it up while I was still at home. I mean, that's over 3 hours away.
From here, yep.
Yeah, because I love Maine, so that's why I was.
Well, on the news, they were saying that they were also watching the border between Maine and Canada to see if the suspect would try and travel
Try to flee.
across the border. So, wow.
There's more than a few places to cross the border
Yeah,
in Maine into Canada.
Maine to Canada.
Not just the Maine drag going up to Montreal, because I've crossed into Canada going into Newfoundland in a very tiny, tiny crossing.
Well, I would imagine you can sort of walk across the border in any of the
through the
wooded
woods
areas.
or something.
Right.
That's what I.
Well, you probably could. And so, but it's a long walk to Canada. So maybe they're positioning people along the border to keep an eye out for this guy.
You said they were doing construction down at the Buell building. What's the rest of the building going to be used for?
So there's going to be retail space and residential.
Oh, wow.
So it's a combined use residential. So they had started going back, we'll say 6 to 8 months, maybe even longer, because, well, time flies. They had done, I don't know what they call that word, but when they put up the posts for dividers, what's going to be upstairs, like the separations. So they had done that months ago, but they couldn't do tearing this down, tearing that down. I don't know if interior has anything to do with colors. Like if you live in an historical home, you have to go by a certain color scheme for the outside. Don't think that applies to inside. I would hope not, because many of the colors were darker colors for the approvals. But yeah, they did get the approval to start, and it may have had something to do with the outside facade of the building. That I don't know. I'm not in the know on all those
No,
things.
but
On
the
the
concept of the
inside.
apartments is exciting.
Yeah.
Well, it is, because I mean, I still go in every day. You know, I'm there in the morning, bringing in the papers and doing whatever's got to be done. Making copies of flyers and such. But because there's no heat or air conditioning, because of the things that
Right.
had been already removed or started to be worked on, so it's not a comfortable place to be if you have a cold or
Yeah,
a
right.
humid day. So that's why John was like, nope, you work from home. Of course, nobody even dreamt that working from home in that capacity was possible until pandemic time.
Right.
So now it is possible. It has been possible, and we've been getting it done. So
So they created an outside entrance, a different entrance now for people, because if they're going to put apartments above the call, there's got to be a way to get there.
It will be the same entrance.
Okay.
So let's, and I wish I had an example of a building that you walk into. Well, take the bank.
All right.
Take the Banquet Island building.
All right.
I mean, not Banquet Island, excuse me. Bank of America building. So
Okay.
the bank's on the first floor, and there's
Yeah.
a main door. Bank's closed, you could still walk in to get to where you need to be.
Yes.
So it's on that idea.
Okay.
You will still be, we will have a door that locks that
This is the call
Hey,
building. If you
right,
live
the
here,
call
go
will be on the
in
right
another
side,
direction.
and then exactly.
So you won't have people walking through your desks
Right, you
on
know,
the way
and
to the stairs
and it's
or the elevator.
awkward like now because you hear odd noises and you're like, okay, is somebody in the building? There could be somebody upstairs,
Yeah.
working on something. Then again, they say the building's so old that it's haunted.
It's
so
haunted.
God
All
only
right.
knows.
There you go. All right. It's time for our first break here on the Coffee and program. Anything you want to say about the call, Sue?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
Because I just got an okay to do so.
All right.
Starting November 1st, the Call and the Times will be one combined newspaper.
Wow.
We've had a lot of, many people have said, why don't you just combine the two?
Yeah.
Why don't you just combine the two? So we finally did. I haven't completely read John's message because I just got it while we're sitting here talking. But it will be one paper, so therefore our readers won't be affected.
Yep.
Neither will the advertisers. As a matter of fact, the advertisers will benefit tremendously
Yep.
because they're going to get double coverage. And what people don't realize is the Call runs into Cumberland, Manville, and Lincoln, and then the Times comes from Pawtucket also into Cumberland, Manville, and Lincoln. So it's not like, oh, I don't want to be in Pawtucket, but you're not. You're going to be gaining many customers that are in the Cumberland, Lincoln, Manville,
area.
Albion, that whole area. So it's actually beneficial to our advertisers. I think it's beneficial to us as employees.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to it. So when lots of changes, no, there's really not.
Well, the only thing I can think of is the Times never had a Sunday paper, and the Call did.
We will no longer have a Sunday. It's going to be the weekend edition.
Okay.
So that's one thing that we're going to be
That's
doing.
gonna
It'll be
change.
the weekend edition, so that's the only change.
Yeah.
But the Saturday, whatever was in Saturday's paper, like say Market Basket Flyer,
Yeah.
those will be in both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah.
The other question is you got the Call and the Times.
Yeah.
What's the name of the paper going to be?
Okay, stop it because it's like, okay, you ready?
Sure.
Call and Times.
Call and Times. Okay, there
We
you go.
have a new logo.
New logo too.
I
All
felt
right.
silly even saying it after you
Yeah.
asked it that way. We have a new logo, and
Uh-huh.
it's Call and Times. And we try to, even our logo has history behind it.
Yeah.
So we try
town
to
crier ringing the bell.
Yeah. Well, the town crier's been gone for a while. You got to remember, we're also Rhode Island Media Group. We do digital. I'm on our business cards and all
Oh, I
of
see.
our
Yeah, yeah.
literature. We're more than just
Oh, right.
the newspaper now. We have print. We have the magazines. We have digital, and we have the newspapers all the way into Connecticut. I almost said Maine because we're talking about Maine, all the way into Connecticut. So we have a lot of coverage areas available. If somebody here wants to target somebody in Mystic, we can now do that. We can do that. We could always do that through email blasts. So if a customer says, I want to target people in this zip code that are married couples with no children that make over X amount per year, but in that zip code, can you do it? Yes, we can.
Wow.
So we do a lot of direct marketing. Of course, on our homepage, we have Friends to Follow, and that's always a nice cost-effective aspect for many of the smaller businesses to advertise.
Do you have in the message that you received
So I'm trying to read. I didn't read it all.
of when this change will take place?
November 1st, that I do know.
November 1st. It
And,
becomes the
and
Call and
that's
the
next
Times.
Thursday. So that's
Yes,
why
that's
I
quick.
messaged John on the way
Yeah.
because I didn't want to wait till
So
Thursday.
that's right. Say,
to
okay, we
mention it.
changed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look
Wow.
at the paper. We have a new what do they call it? Masthead.
Yeah. Very
So
exciting.
it's an exciting thing. It's a good thing.
All right, very good. More Coffee Hands coming up. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240.
Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal real special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogi with onions and dirty sour cream, or pick up Golumki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also also offer a large selection of specialty and imported goods. We're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 to 6, Wednesdays 9 to 5, and Saturdays 8 to 5. Follow us on Facebook to learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street in Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
Have you heard of Scott McGee with Remax Properties? He's been selling real estate in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for the last 17 years, and you can see that he loves what he does. Scott, as well as his team, take pride in what they call the fair and honest team. No gimmicks. And no, they're not buying your house if it doesn't sell, etc. Just fair and honest real estate. Scott personally works with tons of sellers and buyers and specializes in residential properties as well as commercial, and he's always very fair and offers super competitive rates. Remember, this is probably the biggest move in dollars that you will ever spend or receive. You want to go with a trusted and experienced agent. Scott is fair, honest, and modest, always puts the clients first. And he also dealt with literally almost any situation. You really need to look at your real estate needs as a business. You want to pay and get the right money now so that you're not paying for it later. Trust me. So why not give Scott McGee a call at 401-639-2906. That's 401-639-2906.
All right, it's Coffee Ann here on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Sue Tester McKenzie and Bob Lauder. And this portion, we just heard the ad from Scott McGee. And Scott McGee's got a new home for sale. This is at 448 Chapel Street in Burrillville. For those looking online, we put the house up on so we can take a look at pictures. And this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house out there in Burrillville. I did have the price.
Nice.
$375.
Nice kitchen.
On this one. The first picture is of the kitchen with the floors and the nice refrigerator there. So we'll just scroll through a few more. There's another
that's
shot of
nice.
nice larger
Nice
kitchen that we
open
get there.
concept.
Yes.
And there's a look at the stairways a little bit on the right-hand side. Another look at
Okay.
the open rooms on the first floor. There's a look at the outside of the house. He might have shown this one before.
Yes, with the wraparound
with the
porch.
wraparound
Yeah,
porch.
right.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I kind of remember seeing this one. There's another look at the yard and the wraparound porch from the outside. Back into the kitchen. More kitchen counter space. Another good-sized room as you come into the living room right from the front of the street there. Another shot of the rooms. There's another long shot with the open design again. Front door. Up the stairs we go. And that looks like it's upstairs, I believe, in one of the big master bedrooms there. Another room. Bathroom upstairs. Very nice. This is on Chapel Street, 448 Chapel Street in the town of Burrillville.
Those look like big rooms.
Lots of windows.
Yep.
Right.
There's
Light
There's
in
the
there.
second bathroom there. This is downstairs in the cellar, furnace and stuff. It's an unfinished basement, just in case you were wondering. And
I
there we go.
wouldn't recognize that
This is
basement.
side
There's no
round.
junk in it.
You haven't put your junk in it yet.
Oh,
there
okay.
we go. And backyard of the house right there, in the back of the house. And there's another shot of the driveway. Yard, driveway, and wraparound porch. And that's what we got for pictures. So very nice. 448 Chapel Street in Burrillville. $375 is what they're asking. And if you're interested, give Scott McGee a call. 401-639-2906. All right, other things going on. Just going to note that was passed in, 766-1240. How do you feel about this land purchase on Mendon Road by the mayor? And has not enchartered yet. I don't know what that means. Well, I know there's...
Which
there's-
land purchase is this?
Well, the city purchased land on Mendon Road for $1.1 million, a little more than that.
Was that the old Hokong restaurant or something else?
No, it's something else near Plaza Village, according to John Ward yesterday. But what's odd about it, a few things, is the city council said they were never informed that the mayor was going to buy this, and that the city charter says any purchases over $100,000 They need to be notified of it, and they need to approve it. And this hasn't happened, yet there's already been a close on it. And the other thing, what I think is odder is that the land is valued at $200,000 and it was sold for $1.1 million. Why so much more?
I have no knowledge of what's going on and which parcel of land it is.
Okay.
I'll have to look that up.
Well, we got Cindy Johnston coming in, so we can ask her about it since she's the finance director. Be here in
She
about
might
5
have
minutes
some
or so.
idea.
She might have a little something to say about it. So, all right. A nice story that going on. That not that this part is nice, but there was last week there was a stabbing at East Providence High School. One student against another student, but one student still in the hospital that was stabbed. But he was visited by the Providence College head coach, men's basketball head coach, and a few members of the team.
I saw that on television. That's great.
Went to go in and see
Yeah.
him. So I don't know. Did they say does the kid from East Providence, does he play on the East Providence High basketball team?
I don't recall that in the story, but I
No?
would imagine he probably
Yeah, I would
does.
imagine.
Because to appreciate the PC basketball team coming in, you think he had some real interest in basketball. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I think that's really cool. Head coach, 3 players from Providence College visited Tyler Gomez in his room at Hasbro Children's Hospital. And he says the visit lifted his spirits.
I would think so. That's great.
So that is pretty cool, huh? All right. Down in Coventry, the Coventry police, you never know what the police are going to have to do. And they got the call, we've got a wandering bull.
A wandering bull.
Yes, please come and get it. And they
Okay,
did.
This brings up a whole lot of mental images. Is this a bovine bull on 4 feet?
Yes.
Or is, okay. I
It's
was
a wayward animal.
think it might be other kinds
But
of bulls.
bulls are, they're big and they're heavy and they
Right.
can be mean. But the bull was returned to its owner. No injuries reported.
So
Great.
funny. You see posts sometimes from different groups on Facebook. Does somebody own this pig? It's in my backyard.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That was just yesterday.
I remember
Okay,
when
that-
the town of Johnston had the turkey problem and they
Yep.
couldn't catch
Yes,
the turkeys.
that's right. Those were wild turkeys, though.
Right.
Wild
Yeah.
turkeys, yeah, chasing the cars and people.
But I've had chickens in my backyard that belong to neighbors 2 doors down.
Have you really?
Oh, wow.
They just wandered over.
Yep.
Okay. There was a story I saw yesterday down in North Carolina, and comes down to if you want another good reason to lock your doors. Well, down in North Carolina, up in the hills, down there, a mama bear and her 2 cubs. The mama bear was able to open up the car door
Whoa.
because it was unlocked. She just pulled on the latch and it opened.
Open.
So they're naturally curious animals. They all got in, but now the door shuts.
Oh, geez.
And now they can't. Now the mama bear can't figure out how to get how to open the door. So the owners ended up calling the police, sheriff's department down there, and yeah, they had to peer through the window because they're all fogged up.
Yeah.
And the bear is breathing, and this is what they did. They got a very long rope, tied it around
Yeah.
the handle of the car, got back like 20 or 30 feet, and pulled on the rope, opened the door. And the
They all scampered out.
The bears got out and wandered off into the woods. But they did about $1,000 worth of damage to the inside of the car, scratching at it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. So
There's a show on TV that's Funny Pets or whatever it is. And they show, like a mama bear and I think it was 3 cubs. And the people are on this small beach and the bear just walked right down, went into the water. People, of course, backed
backed
off.
away. Okay.
And then the bears come out and just wander back into the woods. It was a lake type of thing. So, you know what? If there's woods around you, you can expect to see something out there.
Yep. And I did see some guy, and he was playing with the bears.
Oh?
Yeah, and he's like, when people ask him, "Well, aren't you worried about when they're gonna attack?" He goes, "I know when they're getting aggravated, because he's been around so much. So that's when he gets away from them, and there's 2 of them, and he turns two of them to each other, and they start wrestling around, and so they can handle each other's weight and things like that, as opposed to a human.
Right.
So that's when he just gets away from them. So, but he goes, but they like having their bellies rubbed like dogs.
Just like dogs, right?
And that's what he was doing, right? And like a good boy.
I would
Wow.
think he's acting in an irresponsible way for his own personal safety, but
But he's a bear trainer of some sort. He's been trained in how to in bear
okay.
behavior. Up in New Hampshire, they have Clark's training bows to have the trained bear shows. So there are people that work with bears to have them do tricks, and so there are these people that like working with these things. It's dangerous.
It's dangerous. I hope they know what they're doing.
Well, look at the people that used to be in the circus, the trained lions and trained tigers.
Yeah, okay.
Have you seen the video? If you go, if you go on safari to like South Africa,
Yeah.
the lion walking through the truck that the people are on, acting like a normal cat, because they see the vehicle as another animal. But if you get out of the truck, start walking around on your own, now you're prey.
Yeah.
But if you're in the truck, you're part of the animal, which is much larger than the cat, so it leaves you. They don't mind being petted. And
It's still remember the Las Vegas act,
Yes.
Siegfried and Roy?
Yes.
Wasn't one of them mauled by one of the tigers that they
he
were?
was, he was killed
Yeah.
by one of his tigers.
Tigers?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
I do remember. All right, break time here on Coffee and it's time for a look at the forecast. And the forecast being brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Partly sunny skies today with a high of 76 and a breeze from the west. Tonight, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 53. Friday's weather, sunshine and 79. Saturday, sunshine and 79. On Sunday, a 40% chance of a shower, mostly cloudy and a high of 60. Monday, 70% chance of showers, mostly cloudy and 61. Tuesday, sunshine and 49 for a high. And on Wednesday, a chance of showers, mostly sunny with a high of 48.
Currently outside the Navigate Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street with sunny skies. We have 62 degrees. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Let me say a word about Chan's Fine Oriental Dining at 267 Main Street in Woonsocket. Yes, this is where you get to enjoy the best. Book your next party with Chan's. They have a lovely room, as you know. And great food like the wonton soup, the crab rangoon, boneless ribs, teriyaki sesame chicken, and general chicken, and 5-spice shrimp, lo mein, fried rice. Gosh, I don't have to go through all of it, do I? 32 special combo dinners at Chan's. Delicious and reasonably priced. Friday and Saturday, you have WRIK karaoke in the lounge from 8 to 11. And of course, Mai Tais and Scorpion Bowls to go at Chan's. 765-1900. Delivery at 762-1364. Chan's. You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
Casey Kasem has unlocked the American Top 40 vaults and is replaying original shows from the 80s. This week, Casey takes you back to November 1st, 1980. That's when Stephanie Mills never knew love like this before. Air Supply was all out of love. Willie Nelson was on the road again, and Diana Ross was turned upside down. You'll hear those songs, all the top 40 hits, and the long-distance dedications from November 1st, 1980, right here on American Top 40, the 80s.
It is Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan. We're being joined at the Coffee and Table by Cindy Johnston, the finance director for the city of Woonsocket. Hi, Cindy.
Hey, Joe. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Sue Tessie McKenzie's here. Bob Lauder's here. Bob, time for a first message from your law office, please.
Thank you. Good morning. This is Attorney Bob Lauder. A few weeks ago, I talked with you about a case involving a joint bank account and the request of a water fountain for man or beast made to the city of Woonsocket. Today, I'd like to talk with you about a more recent decision of the Supreme Court of the state concerning ownership of a joint account following the death of one of the depositors. The case is known as Robinson versus DeFino. It was decided in 1998. The case arose when a depositor who'd established a joint account died, and the other individual named on the account claimed entitlement to the funds in the account. The original signature card contained the words joint tenancy account with right of survivorship. And while that wording would seem to favor the other titled holder, the law of the state of Rhode Island up until that time was so confused that the Rhode Island Supreme Court felt it was necessary to clearly enunciate the law. The Rhode Island Supreme Court ruled, A, the opening of a joint bank account wherein survivorship rights are specifically provided for is conclusive evidence of the intention of the transfer to the survivor an immediate and present joint beneficial possessory ownership right in the balance of the account, remaining after the death of the depositor. However, that's absent any evidence of fraud, undue influence, duress, or lack of mental capacity. And B, if the joint bank account does not provide for survivorship rights, that absence will be conclusive evidence of an intent not to transfer any right of ownership to the survivor, absent any evidence of an accident or mistake. It's still not as simple as one might desire, but it clarifies to a major degree the rights of inheritance and the findings which must be made in order to overcome the presumption of title or lack thereof to funds remaining in a joint account following the death of a depositor. If you'd like to discuss legal matters with me, please call my office for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the disclaimer: the Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. I was telling Bob that I took care of all that healthcare proxy and power of attorney stuff for my wife and I, and we wanted to use Bob, but we're Massachusetts residents, and Bob doesn't practice at Mass, so I couldn't use him.
Right.
I'm glad to know that
Sorry, Bob.
somebody out there actually took my advice, man. This is a
that?
banner day. Yes.
Although I was kidding with the lawyer that I use because he does know you, and I said it's funny. I'll ask Bob a question, a lawyer question, and a lot of times his answer is I don't know. But he said I don't know is the best answer to give.
Great.
For lawyers, because you don't want to give the wrong information. True. I will go look it up. Mm-hmm. Same thing with doctors. What is this? I don't know. We're gonna have to do tests. We don't want to guess at it. So
good.
There
And
you
that
go.
applies to anything. I'm sorry.
Well, it should.
Anything. If somebody asks a question of a person in retail, like, do you have any more of these? Or
Yes.
where are these? Don't just say, no,
they're
I don't
over
think
there.
so. Don't say, I don't think so.
Oh no, yeah.
Because that's not an answer. It's,
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me check.
Mm-hmm.
It's very simple.
You mean when you ask me sports questions, I am giving you a reasonably good answer when I say I don't know?
Well, it's reasonable. I guess so.
Yes.
Did you know, Sue? Though at Disney World, the cast members are not allowed to say I don't know.
Really?
If they're asked a question and they don't know the answer,
Right.
Okay.
the correct response is, that's a great question. Let me go find out the answer for you. And they need to bring them to whoever will know the answer to their specific question.
Oh,
but
well,
I don't
that's
know cannot be
acceptable.
used.
That's acceptable.
It is.
I mean, it would be stupid if a retailer said, that's a great question. Like, do you know what I mean? So that applies for Disney
Right.
World. It doesn't apply at Walmart if I'm looking for a truck for my son for Christmas. It's, I don't know. Let me go check.
Okay, you can say that at
Yeah,
Walmart.
yeah. But it's got to be fitting.
Let me go in the back, see if there's any back there.
Exactly.
There you go.
And if it's a hard no, then they just don't want to go in the back room.
Well, and that's why I don't take a hard no. I'm sorry. How do you know? I just checked 5 minutes ago for the lady that was.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
But also, being a person that's worked in retail, can you go in the back and check? Sure. and you just walk in the back and you just do a circle and then just walk back
Well-
out. Nope, none back there.
Well, you say that then what I just said was actually happened
Yeah.
at Walmart when there was a certain truck that this had to be. My son's 29, so this had to be, God, 26 years ago, or no, excuse me, 24 years ago. And I asked, "Do you have any more of those particular trucks?" And the kid said, "I'm not sure. Let me go check." And he came out with that truck.
Did he? All right.
And 25 years later, and I've never forgotten that kid, because he could have done exactly what you said.
But
And some do.
you're right. The retailer I worked for, it was all about stuff that had to get out on the floor
Right.
as soon as possible. I was just appeasing the
Of course.
customer because I already
Of
knew
course.
everything was already out.
Yep.
And I already knew the warehouse was empty.
But some
All
customers
right,
think
if you
there's a
want,
second store in the back
I'll
room.
walk back there and I'll walk around this empty room, and yep, I know it's still
Yep.
not back here.
Nope, you're 100% correct with that. But the kid was legit when he said, "I don't know.
I know,
Let me go
but
check."
well, that's good that he checked, and that
Yeah,
the one was
I
actually
never
back
forgot
there.
it.
Now the question
Simple thing.
is,
Yes.
if you went into a store and you see Joe, as
Don't
one of-
ask him for anything.
Don't ask him for things. Okay.
Ah, it's not here. Although I have done it where, working in retail, got a call from another store.
Yep.
This is for shoes. Do you have this shoe in this size?
Yeah.
Let me look. Yes, we do. Okay, please put it aside. Someone's going to be there in, I don't know, 15 minutes to pick it up. All right, it'll be a customer service. I would do that.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. I've taken people in the back room to show them that there's not another store there, that everything is out.
It's empty. That's right.
It's plain and simple.
All right.
What's going on in the back room at City Hall?
Well, we got someone to ask right over here.
Right.
Cindy, we got a note that was called in a little earlier. Just, you don't have to give your feelings on it. They said, how do you feel about the land purchase on Mendon Road by the mayor? And it has not, it has not chartered in. I'm not sure what that even means. But can you just explain what's happened with this purchase of this property on Mendon Road by the city?
So that was purchased with HUD Home grant money. So it went through the planning department. I know that the staff in the planning department put in a lot of work into this project and getting it finalized. And they're very excited about it because, nationally we have a housing crisis. We certainly do in the city. And, they're very excited that they were able to get this program in place and funded and be able to build some housing. As far as the issue of whether it should have went to the council or not, I know that the city solicitor is looking into it. He's reviewing the whole process that took place with the land acquisition, going over the documents and determining that all the necessary steps that needed to be taken have been taken. And if he finds additional steps are needed, I'm sure he'll determine the best way to get that done. It's unfortunate that there's been a negative tone to this, because my understanding is it was developed with having affordable housing and creating affordable housing, and I know that the people in planning put a lot of work into it.
Where is
So-
the land? What are we talking about?
I believe it's up on Mendon Road. I wasn't involved in the acquisition. So it's up in the Mendon Road area, and that's really all I can say. I really
Okay.
don't know. But the city solicitor, now that it's been questioned, he'll review everything, and we'll wait for his analysis.
Oh, okay. So that's what's going on with that right there. And you're not involved in the whole sale and stuff. You're in finance. So you're
And
the
I
one
and I have enough on my plate.
left enough to deal with. How is everything else going in the finance department?
It's going really good. It's like I feel like finally I'm making some progress. We're really working hard on the FY23 audit. We have our monthly phone calls with the Rhode Island Auditor General. So I just had one this week, and I was able to tell him that we have worked really hard, especially myself and my new controller, who is awesome, just to get these funds reconciled and get the trial balance packets done. And we've made a really lot of progress. So when I spoke to them the other day, I know that I'm trying to think of what the word was. The plan that I had to present to them, the timeline. Last month when I talked to them, I told them, I said, there is so much work to be done. I can't even tell you when that's going to be done. And I know my timeline said like November 15th. I was happy to tell him this week. I said, we made so much progress November 30th. So I'll take it.
Yeah.
2 weeks behind, considering where we started. The fact that I only finished the FY22 audit back in May, and we were, 6 months behind in the FY22, and now we might be only a month behind. I'll take it.
What does the state look at when they do an audit?
It's not so much the state, is we have to hire independent auditors, and they have their own set of procedures of everything. It's very strict, what they look at, how they go about choosing transactions to look at. There's not a lot of wiggle room for them, but they look at everything. They look at our trial balances. They look at our cash in hand. They will randomly select transactions, and they make sure that everything is in place. Signatures are there, approvals are there. With the HUD funds, there's a whole other set of rules with the HUD funds. One of them, which some people don't realize, in some of the departments will be like, well, where's my check? And I'm like, well, you can't get a check until I draw down the money. And it takes a couple of days for HUD to deposit the money into those restricted accounts. And then I have 2 to 3 business days to cut a check, because HUD doesn't want you drawing down money and letting it sit there. And so the auditors check all of that. There's a lot of things that they look at.
You're talking much beyond just balance sheets. You're talking about the
They
documentation.
look at our labor contracts. They spot check that we're paying people the appropriate pay rate. Everything gets.
Oh, wow.
You'd
Okay.
be amazed how much they look at.
Very thorough.
Okay,
Yes.
That's more than I imagined. I thought they'd just be looking at your pluses and minuses on an account sheet, and that would be it.
No, nope. They
Oh,
go
wow.
in, they drill down. So this is an interesting thing. They will take one of your checking accounts that could have 100 transactions that month, put their finger and say, okay, on September 7th, you brought in a cash deposit of $120. Show me your backup.
Whoa.
For $120.
Such a small amount.
So we save everything. So when you said what's in my back room, it's storage of paper,
Paper trail.
and paper and paper, because everything has to have a paper trail. And we have to go and find the actual paper document that recorded that $120 came in from inspection because they took a permit fee. Show in the bank that it came in, the paper we used to record the journal entry, then give them a copy of the journal entry to make sure it was done properly.
Wow.
It's crazy.
All right. We got to take a break here on the Coffee and program because Bob Lauder's going to get going. He's going to get to court. So let's get a second message, Bob, from your law office.
Thank you. Good morning. This is Attorney Bob Lauder. A few minutes ago, I talked to you about a very recent case from the Rhode Island Supreme Court. I'd like to follow that up with a story which I found in the Elementary Spelling Book, published by Noah Webster in 1829. And despite what Joe Callahan may say, it was not the spelling book that I used when attending Providence Street School. The story begins, a farmer came to a neighboring lawyer, expressing great concern for an accident which he said had just happened. One of your oxen, continued the farmer, has been gored by an unlucky bull of mine, and I should be glad to know how I am to make you a reparation. Thou art a very honest fellow, replied the lawyer. I think it not unreasonable that I expect one of your oxen in return. It is no more than justice, said the farmer, to be sure. But what did I say? I misspoke. It was your bull that killed one of my oxen. Indeed, said the lawyer, that alters the case. I must inquire into the affair, and if, said the farmer, the business I find would have been concluded without an if you had been as ready to do justice to others as it is to exact it from them. Apparently Noah Webster's appreciation of lawyers almost 200 years ago reflects some of the same skepticism that is voiced today. But not all cases are without intervening factors. How did the event occur? Was the owner of the bull negligent in permitting it to wander onto the land of the farmer? Did the ox of the farmer wander onto the corral of the bull? If you'd like to discuss legal matters with me, and not referencing bull or oxen, please call my office for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the disclaimer. The Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney. It's an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
All right, Bob Lauder's going to go. He's going to throw the bull around the courtroom, right?
Whoa, whoa.
Good luck, Bob.
Thank you very much. See you next week.
Very good. More Coffee Hands coming up. Stay tuned.
A new garage door can have a major effect on the appearance of your property. When you're ready, call Andy Bebo at Woonsocket Door Sales, in business since 1935. Woonsocket Door Sales installs and repairs all makes of doors and openers, as well as broken springs and cables. Service includes installation and free disposal of the old door. Woonsocket Door Sales, 767-3448. Office located at 1 Biltmore Avenue, Cumberland. Reputation is important.
Hi, this is Yvette Houle. Holy Trinity Parish Christmas Bazaar and Craft Fair is Saturday, November 4th, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the Parish Hall, 1371 Park Avenue, which is handicap accessible. Come browse the many gifts, crafts, and much more. There will be gift certificate raffle, split the pot, theme baskets, baked goods, and special raffles. Visit Santa, give him your wish list, and take photos with the children. There will also be a children's craft area to keep the children busy while the parents shop. Kitchen will be open for lunch and will include the popular dynamites, meatball sandwiches, hamburgers, hot dogs, fries, onion rings, and Venus de Milo soup. For further information, contact me, Yvette Houle, at 766-5663.
It's time to get out the vote for the very best of the BlackstoneValley.com, presented by Landmark Medical Center. Got a favorite burger, favorite gym, a doctor, place to shop? Vote for them and more at the bestoftheblackstonevalley.com now until November 1st. Show your support for the local businesses in the Blackstone Valley and let your voice be heard by voting for the businesses you love. Vote now through November 1st. Daily, once a day, at bestoftheblackstonevalley.com.
It is Coffee and right here on ON Radio. Bob Lauder had to go. Sue Tesser McKenzie's here. Cindy Johnston, Finance Director for the City of Woonsocket, is here as well. Just want to bring you a little bit more up to speed. They have not caught the shooter up in Maine yet, but because of what's going on, a lot of schools and a lot of businesses in that area are closed today. So Lewiston schools, Auburn schools, Bates College is closed, Brunswick, all South Portland schools, as well as Portland, Biddeford, Sanford, Saco, Westbrook, and Yarmouth schools are all closed today. Numerous other main schools and businesses closed because of the shootings yesterday.
So I missed that. So what happened?
Oh, geez.
22 people were shot and
It's up
killed.
to 22?
In Maine?
No, I'm sorry, 20. In Maine, in Lewiston, Maine.
Wow.
A man went into a bowling alley in Shemengi's Bar and Grill in Just in Time Recreation, better known by its former name, which is Spare Time Recreation. And shot
Oh,
a
that's so
bunch of people.
sad. I didn't know that.
Yeah, this happened
Gave me
last
goosebumps.
night.
Yeah. I was watching it, like I
Wow.
was telling Joe, it was 16.
Yeah.
Whatever, I go dry my hair, I go back in, it was up to 20. So some that obviously were shot and
Oh,
didn't.
that's so sad.
They know who they're looking for, yeah, but they just haven't found him yet. His name is Robert Card, 40-something years old, 40-year-old.
Do they have an idea what the motive is?
From what they've talked to with the people that know him or whatever, he was hearing voices, and he's got a lot of mental health issues there. Voices telling him to go shoot people, kind of thing. So, and he listened to the voices. So, so that's they're still looking for that guy in Maine, and they're still looking for that guy in Massachusetts as well.
The Gardner, the one
in
that-
Gardner, Mass. That allegedly shot his wife to death.
Yeah, I saw that on the news.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That one is, I guess he supposedly shot his wife, and then their 2 kids went over to the neighbors
Yeah,
looking for help.
exactly. That's what they had on the
Wow,
news.
and he just he took off. They did find his car somewhere in the woods out there in Gardner, but they haven't been able to find him yet. It's getting closer and closer to the area.
Yeah, to your
I don't
home.
like it. There is there's a National Drug Take Back Day is coming up Thursday, October 26th. Saturday, October 28th. Thursday, October 26th at Senior Services, 84 Social Street, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And on Saturday, October 28th, Thursday the 26th is today. Saturday, October 28th at CVS on Cass Avenue. Drop off any unused or expired prescription medications for safe disposal. They will accept vitamins, prescription medication, prescription patches, and any over-the-counter medication.
And they also accept an empty medication bottle, which is very important to disperse of properly because your name, etc., is on there.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody else can take that,
Yeah.
go get it filled or something. So I've spoken to them about that, and I definitely get rid of all my husband's stuff that he doesn't use.
All right. They do not accept needles, inhalers, thermometers, aerosol cans, lotions or liquids, or hydrogen peroxide.
Okay.
You must be
Because a
able to make
combo,
hydrogen
yeah, a
peroxide with
combo
something.
can
Yeah, do
Combust?
I don't want to say
a
yeah,
chemical
say-
reaction.
I
Of
can't-
some
thank
sort.
you.
That's
That's
what
the
it
word.
is.
Thank you. But now, based on what you're saying too,
Mm-hmm.
isn't this weekend the
Eco Depot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's on River Street. What do you need to prove? You're a Woonsocket resident?
I think to dispose of certain items, they'll only take it, like, I think the shredding,
Yeah.
you have to be a Woonsocket resident. But the other things, honestly, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at paint cans that
Yeah,
have accumulated.
Yeah, they would take them. I think you have to pop the lid off, don't you, and let it dry out first?
I don't know. I thought
Come
the whole
on, Joe.
point,
Do you
I
know
thought the
this?
whole
Do
point
you
of
know
it
this
was,
answer?
take this.
Trying to find it. Here we go. Hazardous waste includes chemicals that are toxic, flammable, combustible, corrosive, caustic, and reactive. Hazardous chemicals often have labels on them such as skull and crossbones, danger, warning, caution, and poison. Products that contain volatile organic compounds are also extremely hazardous to human health. And so they accept all that. Yeah.
Yeah, without, because if it's a gallon of paint, it's going to take forever to dry.
That's what I was always told.
You're funny.
It's open. It's
I'll
open
let
to
you
Rhode,
know how I
it's
make
open
out.
to Rhode Island residents to dispose of
Rhode
hazardous
Island.
waste. Free document shredding and electronic waste disposal additionally will be available for Woonsocket residents
Okay,
only.
that's
You
what
were
I
correct.
read.
You were
Yeah.
right.
IDs will be checked at the gate to verify your Rhode Island and Woonsocket residency. So the e-waste, those are computers, monitors, towers, laptops, tablets, screens greater than 9 inches, TVs, other video display devices that have circuit boards and screens greater than 9 inches. No, but not printers, mice, and keyboards. You can just toss those out, I guess.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
That's this Saturday as well down there on River Street. So, okay. Anything else you wanted to bring up, Cindy, of things that are going on at the City Hall or in
Yeah,
the
so
Finance
just
Department?
want to remind everyone that our tax amnesty program is still going on. It started on October 16th and it'll run till December 14th. And what that means is if you come in to pay any old tangible or motor vehicle taxes, you just fill out a form requesting waiver of any interest on those older bills. As Sue is raising her hand. And,
It affects her.
That's it. Come in and pay. And then a reminder that the water bills are out. Those are due November 15th. The commercial sewer bills are still being prepared, so those will be out shortly. And then my last comment, because it comes up at every council meeting, is our staffing report. And when I started as finance director a few months ago, we had quite a bit of vacancies. Like I've said in the past, I really believe in promotion. I promoted quite a few employees, which meant now I had to go back out to advertise to fill their positions. There were some manager positions that are much harder to fill. And I always said, I'm just not going to pick anyone. I'll just wait it out until I get the right person. And I did find the right person in a few positions. So I only have one vacancy, and I'm so proud. It's just the city treasurer. We are still doing ongoing interviews. I just have not found the right person. But I'm so happy with all my new staff members. They're doing a great job.
Excellent.
I'm very lucky.
Glad to hear it. All right, we've come to the end of the program. Thank you very much for listening. So, Cindy Johnston, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. We'll see you in a month.
Very good. And Sue, thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Have a great day. Have a good week. Rest of the week.
Cindy, did you hear the exciting news about the call?
No.
The call and the times are going to be one paper.
Nice.
Starting
and it's
November
going to be called
1st.
Call and Times.
The Call and Times.
Very nice.
Good. That's exciting stuff happening over there with the newspaper. This is Joe Callahan. Have a great day. Stay tuned. Senior Scene is next, followed by Gary Smith and the crew with Do You Remember at 9:30.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. Well, that 16-year-old